All right, and with that, I think we are ready to switch over to our next game, which will be Islets. So, take it away, runners.
Alright. So, I'm Swago, and with me is Squeal, and we're gonna play Islets. Are you Squeal?
I'm good. I'm ready for Islets.
That's good. Okay. Are we ready to start the countdown?
Do you want to count down?
Yeah.
All right. Get ready for your run in 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, let's go. So, Islets is a Metroidvania platformer. Got released in August 2022. And it's pretty standard Metroidvania gameplay. Work around, you gain more abilities. The unique mechanic would be is the map layout. If you want to explain that, Square?
Yeah, so the premise behind this game is that we're trying to reconnect these 5 major islands and get the continent back together. And in doing that, we're going to be going to different floating island maps throughout the game. And as we get items, we're going to connect them and unlock new areas as the map kind of reconvenes. It is one of my favorite takes on unlocking different areas of the map as you play. Because as well as collecting abilities, you're also just actually making the map connect to gain more areas.
Right. What's really cool about the early game of the run is that you have a lot of movement abilities right off the bat. So, the movement is pretty challenging from the get-go, mostly because of the dodge roll. Which, the way to move fast in Islets is you want to... So this guy's always in the way. Basically, rolling sets you to max speed, but jumping out of the roll preserves that speed. Whereas otherwise, if you just let the roll finish, it will slow you down towards the end of it. So that's why you see all these small bunny hops. And now at the first attack.
So for our DPS, balancing, what we want to do is basically just always swing our sword as much as we can, and anytime that enemy goes away, we're going to be spamming those bow shots. By swinging the sword, we get our arrows back. It's another really cool fight mechanic. In this one, you just kind of damage tank through the boss. That was a pretty clean fight.
Yeah, ideally I would have dragged him a bit further to the right, so I would... the fight would end close to the exit of the room, but I messed it up a little. Not to worry. Right, and now we're picking up our first upgrade, which will be Damage. And what it did there is return to save, which will be used quite a bit throughout the run. And that's also, unfortunately, what makes the run a bit scary at times, because in order to get the most out of the return to save, some save points will be skipped. Sometimes more in a row.
So that return to save option, it's a little misleading because, at least when I was casually playing, I thought it meant return to the last save without any of the progress that you had, but it keeps all the progress that you've gotten in the game. It just actually warps you back to that save point. So we're going to be basically as soon as you collect any item or reconvene a map segment, we're basically going to try to return to our save as fast as we can. It often skips some extra cutscenes if you just do it before they play.
Right, so just then it skipped having to backtrack to rooms as well as the animation it plays from getting the upgrade. And what you saw 2 rooms ago was the first upgrade card. So throughout the run, not only do you get abilities, you also get these small upgrade cards, where you can basically spec yourself out for the run. You can enhance your sword, you can enhance the bow. Basically what you prefer. Which is pretty cool, but I'm pretty sure at this point the speedrun is at the point where there is an optimal route for the upgrade cards. the game does have a speedrun mode, which is where you see the clock at the top. Which
Also, why the text is going very fast.
Right, yeah. So what the speedrun mode also does is it makes sure that for every playthrough you get the same seed for the upgrade cards. Without speedrun mode, those would be randomized to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's pretty like important routing wise, because I know some of the upgrade cards you can just get money from, and money is really important for routing in this.
Yep, there is money routing. Not a
We
whole
need to
lot.
get like 1100 money total, I think, and the
Thousands.
important one is like 900 by a certain point for a certain ability.
900 for the first club and then 100 for the second.
Right. There's some shortcuts that you need to spend money in order to open up, and they're very beneficial to be able to have early on.
Right, and this is the room we started in, but now since we have damage lamp, we can exit to the left.
So we're back at the start of the game, and we're gonna go fly around the Sky Islands.
Sky City. It's the hub area. We see this a couple of times. Not as many times as intended probably, because there are a few skips, one major one. Where, Squeal said there are 5 islands. We kind of skip one of them, for the most part. And we're also doing them out of order. So this fight, Sky Pirates, bit of an overscroller, so right now would be a good time for donations or incentives.
Sure. We have a $19 donation from Nikki219110 saying rare EUW $1 per EU gold.
That is to the EUW. Even I might have been rooting for South America. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm kind of a Sam fan.
Oh, and we
It
have
was a
another
banger of a
donation
series.
that just came in too. If I could read one more.
Sure.
You've got time, yeah.
This one is $11.16 from Konomi, saying, if Swago has 1 million fans, then I am one of them. If Swago has 10 fans, then I am one of them. If Swago has only 1 fan, then that is me. If Swago has no fans, then that means I am no longer on Earth. If the world is against Swago, then I am against the world.
That's so
Thanks,
real.
Konomi. Alright. And that's Sky Pirates.
Is that a
And now
damage
onto
with Sky Pirates?
name is Sky Pirates, yeah.
No, was it damageless?
No, I don't think so.
Dang. I don't think I've ever. I think when I was running this, I don't think I ever got a damageless Sky Pirates. For some reason, it's difficult.
Alright, so this game has a lot of iframes. Barely noticeable.
Yeah, damage boosting is probably the most important thing for like skipping through areas. We're gonna be skipping an entire movement ability at some point, and that's just because of how good damage boosting is, where we don't even need it. There's also one of the upgrade cards, like skills that you can get, just increases your iframes, which are already insanely long. So the game is very generous with that.
Yep. Like, usually I'm all for, accessibility, but I think this might be the one game that overdid it a bit, but I still like it a lot. I guess it's 1100.
Shortcut
Yeah.
door. Yeah, this is the
Okay,
first
okay.
shortcut door that we're gonna open. This one is extremely important to get this teleporter for later.
Right, now we have even more iframes.
Because we definitely didn't already have enough.
You know.
Oh.
It's all good. It's another save right around the corner.
Yeah, there's some areas later that will require a lot of damage boosting, but we want to not save going through the areas. But one thing that's really nice is whenever you get one of those upgrade cards, you get fully healed. So you kind of have to route some of those in just as a safety measure. Not even for the card's bonus, but just so that way you don't die on your way through.
Alright, this will be the last save point for a while.
Simply don't get hit.
I can, because there's another upgrade card 2 rooms from now.
Oh yeah. So the goal is to go through this entire Tomb Ruins without taking a single save. That way Swag can save like 12 seconds, I think, at the end after getting the item in here. It skips like
nothing.
a room and a half of vertical movement. Luckily, you can kind of, like, if it's looking rough, you can kind of bail out. There are save points you can take. We're just going to be trying to avoid them. Typically, if I'm like low health going into the boss, then I'll just go ahead and take the time loss and save. But if you are going for like a real time, then you just have to YOLO this area. Yes, the speedrun mode auto skips the text.
Yep.
I would like
no
to lie
text
and say
smashing.
that Swag is just that good at text smashing. But yeah.
No replay the game
part
that
of
requires it. Maybe I am. Probably not.
It is part of the speedrun tool. Head to the left here, break open this wall for another teleporter. That's going to be super important in the future. And then head off towards,
We also get that one's there.
following the frog some more. You're going into this with basically full health, so you should be good. You can play this a little risky, going for some sword slashes during that attack.
This one is like the biggest RNG source in the game. Not this one and the next boss. All the RNG is in the game really. Which was good. Means that most runs that get past like the first half an hour like finishable in theory.
Been a pretty clean fight so far. I mean, you only got hit like once, I think. That was pretty good.
Well, twice, but during the part where I'm supposed to damage tank it.
Okay. So now we're gonna get that ability and quit out, saving that little bit of time.
Basically nothing.
It's pretty notable, but
And we're back.
it is very risky. You
Now
kind
we
of got
have
through that area very
Slam.
clean though. Slam, my beloved.
Yeah.
So if you thought our iframes were high, just wait till we get attacked during those iframes. Slam, it's very akin to like Descending Dark in Hollow Knight, where it just has just way too many iframes for no reason. Even when the attack is done, you can just walk around and not get hit. It is a pretty good like damage move for a lot of bosses. It's a very good option for a couple fights. You know, lets us break those blocks that are under us.
Also for longer falling sections, it is faster to slam as opposed to just falling. Oops.
God, these rolling enemies they're awful. They
Yes.
roll so fast, and they always catch up to you, no matter what you do. It feels impossible to avoid them. All right, don't get stuck here.
Nope.
Very nice. You can get like stuck in those blocks as they're moving, and I think it's like a soft lock. You just have to return to save.
It's hard to do, but unfortunately it happens when you like, try to greet that, which, you know, occasionally happens in speedruns. Just be a bit too greedy.
These little boost block jumps. I really like these, and outside of this area, they don't really use them, like, ever.
Like all the islands and areas have like a distinct gimmicks and features. Unfortunately, we will be skipping a lot of them, and some of the more unique ones. So it can seem a bit monotonous, but it really isn't. It's a great speedrun. It's even better casually.
Oh, that's good.
It's like the one thing I hope wouldn't happen. Like that guy can just
You get a little-
completely in the way. It's like the bird in the very beginning I was talking about. It's basically the same there.
Add on money. Okay, 500. Yeah, you're doing pretty
Yeah,
good.
this is like where you want to have 500. So, right on pace. So this is a clockmaker. It makes all the things spin, all the gears. There is lore, but it's kind of hard to grasp it in the speedrun. Since we're like skipping half the areas and then all of the dialogue. So it kind of probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It also means we are not spoiling any casual playthroughs.
True. Only slightly bit. So Clockmaker is like a very interesting boss in that even when he flies up like off the screen like that, you can still hit him. So that's why Swag is just like swinging at the roof. And ideally you just want to be as close to him as possible. And you can get a little unlucky with patterns on this guy. This is probably the biggest RNG fight. We really just want him to be like on the left or the right as much as possible, I think, because if he's in the middle, it's hard to stay close to him.
Yeah, also there is an attack where the guy leaves the screen and you can't hit him at all. I got it 0 times there, which is incredibly lucky.
That's yeah.
I got it 4 times during my PvE. Just extremely unlucky.
So they're returning to
I'm
save,
safe.
and returning to save there like lets you skip a cutscene when you activate the magnet that like shows the island. And it gets like all glittery because you activated the magnet, which will reconnect it. But returning to save and walking saves a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And now we're done with that section.
Right, so we got the magnet on Inverness Island, the second island. So that one will be connected to all the other islands with activated magnets, which are none so far. So now we're going back to the first island and getting the magnet here.
Yeah, now that we have Slam, we can go get the magnet in the first island. This one also has a long stretch of no saving, right?
Yeah, we're already
At
on
a certain point.
Let's save it, let's win past. Did I get this? Yeah. That save it, let's win past a couple of screens ago was the last save for like the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah. We get the little boost jumps here. You have to try and not utilize the jump. If you like jump or double jump at all, it will burn it. And we need to save it for spots. I really like this area. This place also, like, places like this also have tons of different ways that you can get through it. Like, there's no one straight path to get to where you're trying to go. A lot of these rooms are very intertwined. And it's like really, really fun to route out which direction to go. That was a really good gauntlet. What the heck?
Yeah, and then I mess up the simple jump.
Pitch.
Gosh.
Now a good time for an update?
Of course.
Sure.
All right, just want to let folks know that we have less than $250 to go on our next milestone, which is the Strawberry Jam Cracked GM Task Showcase. So get those donations in if you want to see that. We also have a bid war going on to name Madeline, and we have an incentive going on for SteamWorld Dig 2 later on this evening. Any donations made towards that bid war or towards that incentive will count towards the milestone task showcase. And if we can meet that one, there is a double secret milestone that even I don't know what it is yet. But we've got to get that task showcase open first.
Double secret. I thought the cracked GM was the secret.
No, that's just the beginning.
Well, we gotta get there to find out what it is.
Sure.
I'm sure there's a few Celeste enjoyers in chat.
Just a couple.
Celeste? Any Celeste fans? Already approaching the boss fight here, right?
Yep, it's like 2 rooms away.
Kind of blazed through. I really, really love this boss fight. I don't know why. This is probably my favorite in the game. It's like the way you use all the swords. But this, the attacks are pretty simple to dodge at this point. There's the one like spirally sword one that you do have to roll through. So able to pretty consistent with this cycle between using sword, putting the jump up, and then as we're falling down and going back for our next sword swing, using the bow for a bit.
Right, so the bow actually uses an ammo count, which is the bar below my health in the top left corner. And every time I hit something, I basically get a charge back. So I want to make sure I don't really float when use the bow, because it's good DPS.
Yeah, the bow, is it better DPS than the sword? Like if you're able to spam it fully?
It's pretty close, but there will be an upgrade later on where it becomes better than the sword. Alright, and now we connected the islands, so now you can see on the map here, islands are connected. So now we can teleport from one island to the other without having to go through Sky City. Which is really cool, honestly. Maybe that has to be my favorite part about the game.
Yeah, the map connectivity is like something I've never really seen done in a Metroidvania like this, and it's a really cool way to unlock new areas. I absolutely love it.
Right.
In order to get more areas, though, we're gonna have to upgrade our airship that you saw us in earlier. We have to go get, now that our map is connected, those new areas that we've unlocked. Get us little gear cogs. We need to go collect a couple of those in order to get to the newer islands.
And so, Frog is here again.
Frog.
Oops. Oh, frog.
Frog. We don't like this frog though. He's a little suspicious.
Yeah. So that's probably hard to see because all the text boxes are skipped, but the lad is named Suspicious Tour Guide. I wonder why.
Yeah, he's definitely
No.
not doing anything devious here.
I wonder what they're up to.
This is actually I think this is my favorite boss in the game. You just hit him once and throw him in the pit.
We'll see him again.
I think if you hit him too early and then like open the lever right away, you actually miss.
Yeah.
So you have to like wait. You have to wait a bit.
Right. And now this is where the speedrun gets really fast paced, because now we have climb, which opens up corner boosting.
Yes, corner boosting, Celeste, my favorite. Corner boosts are actually really cool in this.
Yeah.
Basically, while we're wall climbing, you want to mash A, so you're basically like jumping up the wall the whole time. You can just like hold it and slowly climb, but you want to be mashing it. And anytime that we're like going like wall running and we go over a corner, you can immediately roll, which you normally can't do. See, it's like almost like a mid-air roll, so you can get up to full speed after climbing a wall right away. There's also some funky tech with rolls and jump storages that we'll be doing later. Wall climb is like probably the best ability in this game. There we got one gear, and just heading back here. This warp is like it. There's a reason we went out of our way to get money early to get this warp, just because it's so close to 2 gears right away.
He's optimal for now, but honestly, this is very much a speedrun where like, it's not terribly optimized. Like the fun is still in there. So maybe my roads are wrong. Who knows? Please play the game. That's good.
It seems like a pretty solid route, but there definitely could probably be some things experimented with. Oh my god, I hate this room. That was really good. I always get hit by that. That guy will follow you down the entire way. It's ridiculous. And here you don't necessarily want to damage boost like through this whole area, but you definitely can.
Yeah, this one's a bit scary. This one's the big ground killers, probably. I mean, most certainly.
Now that we've got 2 gears, we can just get out of there. Go to the upgrade person, the blacksmith.
workshop.
I guess.
But don't
Yeah.
forget to buy a Shrine Shifter.
True.
Before.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, so that's the reason why we got so much money. That ability will basically let us warp from any... So there's the teleporters, and then there's like the save shrines. That will let us warp from any save shrine to any teleporter. Which means that we basically just have more checkpoints that we can warp from. You can't go from save shrine to save shrine, but it's still very, very good. Now that we've upgraded our ship, there's 2 like air fights that we have available to us. There's Grapplebot, and then there's, I don't remember the name of the other one because we don't fight it.
Mecha Rat.
rat. We don't fight the rat.
Rats.
We're basically gonna go to the Grapplebot Island and just kind of ignore the other one. We're not gonna ever get the magnet for the other one, which you're supposed to do first. But by getting the magnet in basically the fourth island, the game will automatically give you the magnet for the third one and just connect the maps like automatically. Yeah. So now that we have the gun, the gun is like actually really important to stay close to your opponent. The closer you are, the faster it shoots, I guess.
Yep.
So it's a little hard with attacks like that to stay close. So it's better to stay in the middle, but I do like the idea of like playing it risky on these fights. After that first air fight, that was literally just an auto scroller.
Yeah. Also, Grapplebot has to be like the fight of the run I'm most afraid of, and it didn't die, so let's go.
That's huge. Yeah, that one
Surely
with the stuff like spamming out. Is it random like how the balls come out?
Hmm?
Like when he's like slamming back and forth, the like attacks are random, right?
The attack pattern is consistent, I believe, in the seed as well.
Okay.
If it isn't, it's like it looks to be the same, honestly.
So while we're going through this area, are we? No, we're not supposed to have the movement ability yet. No.
No.
Okay. It is coming up soon, though, where we're going to be going through an area that we definitely should not be.
Yep. That's coming up.
And we're supposed to have an entirely different movement ability, which is the Cloud Shot. It's like an upgrade to the bow, but it's not really an upgrade. It's more of a downgrade. Oh, nice. Clean movement.
Yep,
so there you saw like a small version of it, but basically when you roll off of a wall, at the end of the roll, there's a window where you basically still have coyote frames and can do like a grounded jump still. So you can basically be moving up a wall, roll off it, do your first jump, and then do your second like mid-air jump. And that's what Swag just did right there. That was first try. That one's really hard because you have limited tries of it, since you have to wall run off spikes. This is like the main tech of the game that lets us skip a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so this island and this area is like was my favorite of the entire game, and then like, a couple days into release, oh yeah, we can skip this. It's like, yeah, great. Thanks.
Yeah, so ideally we're supposed to do the third island and get the item in there, which is the Cloud Shot, which lets us place like these little platforms with our arrows, and then you run across the platforms. And you can like build little ladders out of them as you go. It's pretty cool. They're not good for combat, but we just completely ignore that item because we can do those like wall rolls and then do double jumps out of them. There's also another arrow upgrade that we do have to get for like 2 points in the run where you have to use it, sadly. Right. So this whole area Swag is trying to do without saving or healing like ever. Oh, that's really cool. I like that. Just climbing up at the start. There's gonna be like a lot of damage boost in this area. This is like a really big risky point around it. Trying to play it safe on some of the gauntlets. There's one like card that we get, and I think you literally just get the card to get the heal.
Alright, there's a scary part over. What, this scary part anyway?
The first scary part. Yeah, why take that save, you know?
Yeah.
Who needs it?
So, banger OST incoming. This was played on the like, intermission screen. Archiethon a couple times already.
I like how like everything else has been like a boss fight, and then this one you just have to turn on a trash compactor and run away from it.
Yeah, and you never see it because it doesn't move very fast. Yeah, and what I did there is I checked my money count because we need 100 money now, basically.
Yeah, right after this we need 100 to buy one more shortcut door. I grab this one, and you should have enough.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay. Just making sure.
Well, with the 3 money that this guy gives you. Okay. Alright, so very cool double like wall roll that Swag just did there to go over the trigger to activate the magnet, go into the next room which has a teleporter, and then go back for the magnet cutscene to actually activate it. That way we can... You basically just skip the magnet cutscene there. Because who wants to watch a cutscene? Do another wall roll up here. You're supposed to collect like some seeds to make some plants grow to get up here. Then we're going to teleport out, grab this double jump, return to save, come back here, utilize that double or that big jump that we have to get all the way over here, skip an entire boss, climb up here, and get the teleport shot.
Yeah, that was a lot.
There's, like,
in
there's
10
a lot in
seconds.
there. So now we have a new bow ability that we're only going to use like 3 times, but you do have to get it. Warp back to the second island, get this little shortcut so that way we can go do something. I don't remember what we're doing here.
Robots.
Oh, we are doing the robot, yes. Is that to get charge shot?
Yep.
Yeah, so there's one more ability that we have to get, which again I think you only use 2 times in the run, but you have
3
to
times.
get it. Yeah. But now we can save.
Okay.
Is now a good time for a few donations?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
All right, we've got a $25 anonymous donation saying Davers Unite to stop cat bus oppression. We also have a $10 donation from Revo saying, much love for Swag, a great asset of our community and a good friend of mine. Shoutouts to them and Bevo for the help testing a game I developed. They both are awesome. I missed the GeoGuessr rounds, so ping me if you do another someday. Enjoy the run and long live Archie.
Long live Archie. Thanks, Trevor.
That was a lot of like hit stun frames.
Yeah, I placed it
I've
poorly.
never seen that.
Ideally, I would have done only the left side or the right side, not both. And cutscene.
Yes, cutscene. This is the same person that the frog tried to kill, right?
I actually don't know. You make a good point.
They look like them.
It might be. It might just be, honestly. It probably is.
Oh god, I hate this room. Oh,
High frames.
not even close. Oh, that was really clean. I don't think I've ever gotten through that little area without getting hit. Nice, just opening the shortcut lever, returning to save right away so that basically skip the door opening and you get a free full heal.
I probably could have done without that, honestly. I was on pretty good HP, but I'm not about to throw to run for that.
That's like such a minuscule time save to go for. Probably
Yeah,
like
it's 2 seconds.
3 seconds. Yeah. You probably would have been fine. Now it's robot time. This guy just has a lot of health. Just gonna try to keep slashing. I don't think he ever gets out of range for you to like necessitate using bow. It is really nice to use bow on that one attack, so that way you can be moving while you're still doing damage. so far. The game kind of expects you to get like a lot of those upgrade cards, and you can like buy at that shop that we were at before. You can buy like sword and bow upgrades, so it expects you to be, I guess, a little bit stronger. So that's why the fights take a while in this.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the later stage bosses are just keep the DPS up, don't get hit. Because our DPS is really low.
It's not
There's
ideal,
also-
but it would be a little too much to go out and get
Yeah.
extra upgrades.
Like all the upgrade cards are like the routing's pretty tight. Like we're not even getting that one, which is like right there.
That one's like really, that air roll is really hard. I feel like it's just placebo because you're doing it to the left, and every other one you do in the run is like to the right. But that one feels harder. Right. There's the charge shot, so little skip here, we can hit that crumble block, which is the shortcut to get this gear from the other side by doing a little charge shot and then going back in the room to reload the blocks.
Right, so the first ship upgrade costs 2 gears. The next one will be 3, and also a motor or engine. Don't quite know what it's called. So now we're collecting those.
Yeah, we're back on our gear hunt. I think there's 6 gears in the game total, so we do skip 1, I believe.
Yeah. There are 6 scattered around the map, but you only need 5
Only need 5.
to fully upgrade your ship. Which is nice, so you can, you know, not waste hours because you just can't figure out where the last gears in a casual playthrough. Which I can respect.
Yeah, I think if you do get that last gear, you just get like extra money or something.
Yeah, you can trade it in for money at the workshop. Right, it's gear 4. Now gear 5, we're back in the ruins. This is probably the area that gets traversed the most in the entire run.
Yeah, you probably warped back here like 3 or 4 times, I think. This is
Something like
already
that.
number 2.
Please. Okay. That's the one downside of climb, you just get stuck on walls. Like, even when you don't want to.
Fight this little mini boss, which has a lot of health. Some, like, surprisingly, it's almost like a real boss. I guess it's basically a refight of what we did earlier, but I don't know. Even casually, this guy felt like he had a lot of health.
So that's the gear stone, but before we grab the last ship out, we're gonna go out of our way once again. I think it's the last time actually. No, not quite. Second to last time, where we just go somewhere to activate the teleporter for later. Which we couldn't have done earlier because the islands weren't connected at the time. Remember, this right here used to be closed, but now it's not. Oh yeah, also we have this, which we never used until now.
Yeah, you like barely use that. It also doesn't do anything in combat. Oh, you don't need the... Oh, I guess you don't need the waterfalls there. I always activated those waterfalls.
Now we exit the island.
Yeah, we kind of need to reload the map here, so that way
Yeah,
one of the
we're
map
here.
segments that we didn't collect will now, I guess, load in.
For anyone who looked closely, it was actually when I pressed tab, when I was in the teleport menu. There was just a blank square in the bottom left corner, which was this island, because we kind of expected to have it at this point, but because we hit the magnet on island 4 out of order, we can just do this instead. Nice.
Yeah, so this is that island that we basically just completely skipped getting the magnet for, but the game still gives it to us anyways, because it has to. We still have to play through it,
Oops.
but you can avoid doing the magnet segment and fighting the sky boss in order to get there.
So this area has a lot of combat rooms.
A lot of gauntlets, yeah. Get some rather annoying enemies. By annoying, I mean they just stay airborne.
And I actually took a lot of damage there. I'm gonna wait for this to go out of the way.
That was still very close to hitting it.
That was safe. Right, square skip coming up.
True.
I
Normally you're supposed
missed
to
that. That was not close.
Oh, that was a little early. You're supposed to go all the way around to the right. There's a couple rooms like that where you're supposed to go like all the way to the right and then up and then exit the top left, but you can just kind of do an air roll and then a double jump to
Kind of like
Just
what we
kinda
did
skip
on the first gear of the last bunch.
God, this room. Yeah, I don't blame you for doing the there. Just going over all the enemies, because dear God, that room is awful. Especially with this gauntlet, like with a gauntlet right after that room too.
Yeah, so there was one gauntlet. But wait,
There's another gauntlet. This one you have to wait for the enemies to like come out of the liquid. Yeah, that was a really good cycle.
you can actually go into the water and just hit him there. Basically there.
I feel like I'm always so low health from the big room that I just never even think to go in the water.
Right.
So we kind of have a cycle that we want to hit on this boss, so it's really important to like do DPS everywhere we can, even doing these charge shots. We actually have a use for the charge shot in combat, which is kind of crazy. Basically, we want to skip a cycle where the witch will like fly into the background again. I think we only want her to do it twice if you do enough damage. So ideally, from this point on, she won't do it again. Once she's at this half health, she'll add an extra attack to her cycle, where she like spins a bunch of rocks around, and that'll let us get in enough bow and charge shots. Or just climb up the wall.
Oh,
You got it though.
Yeah.
Very nice. It's like, is it like 20 seconds, 15 seconds if you don't hit that cycle?
it's 25. It's pretty long.
Yeah, it's a lot. There we get that little, that motor propeller blade thing. It's just like a special piece that you need to get the final
Another
upgrade
gear,
on the ship.
basically.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Now we can dash or teleport.
Blink. Oh,
That's
that.
obvious. Oh. Continue, don't take damage from that. It's time for Defender Unit. I really like this air boss.
I used to, but then I started dying to it, and now I don't like this much anymore.
I feel like if you greed it too hard, then yeah. I like the little dashes. I like this attack. This spin around him. It's very easy to stay close to this guy for some parts, and then some attacks, it's very hard. I guess it depends how much you damage tank. It's like that.
Totally intentional.
I also want to note that Swag is doing the air raid bosses on keyboard, which just makes them harder, because you can only dash in 8 directions, I believe. So like, I guess these would be a little bit better on controller, but it definitely makes fights that like really require a lot of dashes a little more restrictive. But Swag's a gamer and got through it. So we're on to the final island.
Cinder, which we're not going to see a whole lot from. I forgot to charge my attack.
Right. So this is where, like, ideally the game would end, right? You get the last magnet, you connect all the islands, but I don't remember why the things are there, but there's those 3 like towers behind the magnet that start shooting it when you turn it on. So you have to go kill the enemies that are controlling the towers. So we get to go back through the game and find different ways to enter this final island. Go through their domains and beat 3 bosses.
It's the wrong side.
This is where the game like really ramps up in difficulty. Like basically all these segments are really scary.
Yep.
And you could, I don't want to say you could die at any point, but
it's very possible.
Definitely very possible. Lots of, like, rooms like this, you're expected to have the cloud shot. That was perfect. You're expected to have the cloud shot and just, like, walk along those platforms. But simply make the insane double jump and squeeze between all of them instead. And there's gauntlets. Who doesn't like gauntlets? With new enemies that have not been seen before. I think this is the first spot that the game introduces enemies in a gauntlet, right after running through a very hard area. Which is a little mean. And then for the run, since we don't have cloud shot, we can't get through that without taking damage. And then we have this room. Swag's a gamer though.
That one looks harder than this.
Yeah, that one,
you
kind of just wait a bit and then get like coyote time off your jump, but it still is a little scary.
Yeah. A lot of the run is just play risky until you can't afford to take damage anymore and then play safe. That's how you get the fast times.
You had to use charge shot there. Actually, does charge shot get used for the like breaking blocks puzzles? I guess that would be an actual use for it.
Oh yeah, that's one I get there.
Also, this mini boss sucks. Finding that little like lineup to stand under and bearing that attack is a little
makes
tight.
it a lot more bearable. Otherwise, it's pretty hard, yeah. And slow.
On to our first of 3 bosses, though. Bone Golem.
With no space between opponent and golem.
Yeah. So this is where we're going to start using Slam to just have a million iframes while also doing damage, which is awesome. You can kind of just stand in between these spikes as well. They don't hurt you as long as you don't move when the attack starts. I think they always line up to not be able to hit you.
So if anyone doesn't like spiders, look away.
Oh yeah,
Forget about
spider.
that. I don't know why this guy becomes a spider. It's like the one thing I would question about the game. The spiders. Also, Jet had no wind up. What was that?
He just decided he was gonna hit you. Alright, not a spider anymore. Just a weird bouncing blob. As soon as the boss is done, you're supposed to go to the right and like activate something, but you don't actually have to. Once the boss is done, you can just leave.
Yeah, the trigger is the boss dying, not the thing you collect in the next room.
Yeah. Even though the thing in the next room has a cutscene to it that makes it look like that's the trigger,
It's bait.
yeah, it's kind of bait.
Right. Now for the next big run killer area. This one is
God,
Never-
this is
never
the worst.
easy.
This is the worst one. This is like the run killer area, and it's of course the second to last area in the game. This part is brutal. This one you're supposed to use Cloud Shot to like block off lasers and still like cross platforms and whatnot. So there's a lot of damage boosts you have to do through here. There's just no way around it. A lot of waiting for stuff like this. So ideally, if we had Cloud Shot, you just like shoot them above you and then just go under the cloud. But we have to do those weird roll cancels to cross through them instead. And then, of course, annoying gauntlet with flying enemies right after right after hard rooms that we have to damage boost. Oh. It's a cool way to get past that guy.
Yeah, I found that one like yesterday.
This is fine.
Yep. Ideally, I could just ignore returning to save here, but again, there's no risk throwing it around.
Yeah. That's what you just like have to wait through, right? I guess you can damage boost.
So this guy's there. No, our favorite late game mechanic. Clean up.
God, I hated this. You have to break all these blocks fast enough before they respawn for some reason. Some of these are really, really tight and like tough. It was actually like extremely surprising that some of these existed. There's one coming up. Yeah, this one. This one is brutal casually. You like have to spin back and forth. If you get stuck on the ledges too much, you just can't win.
Yeah, that was not a speed strat. That's the intended strat there.
That is
You have to do
how you're
that.
supposed to do it. Oh, that was really clean. These ones I just makeshift them. I don't think I ever did them the same way twice. Luckily though, I think if you die after doing them, they do save their progress. You don't have to redo them.
Yeah.
Anyway, another boss. This one, if you just stand while he's like ducked down here in the corner, his attack will never hit you. And then just spam him a lot. Utilize slam for iframes when we need to.
I don't. Yeah. Without sending on the left side, this fight's actually really scary.
Now would be a good time for any final shouts.
Sure. I just want to mention, as an update, we are still about $210 away from meeting that Strawberry Jam Cracked GM Task Showcase. So if that's something that interests you, any and all donations do count towards that milestone, and you can still get in on the bidding war for naming Madeline, as well as adding the ultimate trial to SteamWorld Dig 2. So be sure to get those donations in.
Pretty good fight. Now we're on to the last area of the game.
Sure.
Which is a bit of a maze. Did you ever figure out like a real route for this? Because I know I just kind of BS my way through this area.
So there's a new strat I found like half an hour ago. No, half an hour before we came into VC here. I kind of hope I can get it.
Now I'm intrigued. So basically, oh, were you trying to like raise the corner?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awful.
There's no real punish for missing it once we go for it.
I guess so, yeah. That's kind of cool. Basically, the gist of this area is we have to go through like this big puzzle maze and beat these 3 mini bosses to get 3 keys to access the final boss of the game.
Right, it's the first one down. Okay, but surely I can hit the other strat I found.
Surely.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Save state.
That is a very tight cycle. Yeah, that seems a lot. Normally you have to wait for that block to go like all the way up and then all the way back down for you to hit that shot. This area also has a really cool mechanic with the moving blocks. Basically just swamps, and then I like how the game uses it, but it's so late in the game that you don't get to see a ton of it. Oh yeah, spider. Sorry.
Spider. That one's not as bad as the previous one.
Yeah.
Insane room coming up.
Oh yeah, I love this room. You just roll through the entire block. They're not like actually physical hitboxes. They're just damage hitboxes.
Also, for some reason, ground pounding in this room does not work. I don't know why.
Yeah, this boss just like doesn't have a hitbox on the lower part. It's weird. Feels like the one that should.
It's just a ground pound doesn't go off.
Oh really? Weird.
I don't know. Should probably report that, but
Alright, now we get to throw in our 3 keys and fight the final boss of the game.
which is a lot of hit, attack, don't get hit.
Yeah, this guy basically just brings back attacks from old bosses. We're basically just gonna upslap as much as we can and then slam whenever we're about to get hit. The only scary thing with this fight is that the Clockmaker attack doesn't like spawn on us. That's the only one that we're really worried about. Like it is about to right now. That's a good save. But we will get a phase change at like half health, and so just kind of mashing until that point. almost a hitless first phase. The damage that we take is pretty important because now we're in an airship fight, and we want to be very close to the boss as we're fighting it. So that means some likely damage taking and damage boosts. Just like this one, just getting right up in the face of the Sky Pirate,
And now we're fighting Mecha Rat, which we skipped earlier.
Yeah, this is a fight that we didn't see, but now you get to see it for like 15 seconds. This one's very easy to stay close to, luckily.
Right, and now for the rear run killer. Grab the butts back. Hate it.
Yeah, so after doing the damage boost on Sky Pirates, and then however well your first half goes, this like part of the fight can be really rough. Oh, that bullet almost snuck up on me. Very nice.
Okay. And now...
Now we lose.
Yes. Yep, it's over. Bad end.
It's over. All that just to be eaten.
I think it's a bit of a weird setting for the game to conclude, but...
Yeah, this ending is a little odd, but it's kind of funny.
It makes more sense if without skipping all the dialogue in half the areas. That's for sure.
Just a little.
That was it slightly. There's a mailbox in here.
Yeah, we're just answering our mail.
Yeah. From our friends, which are also in here now.
So time is gonna be slowly coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be when
Second.
Swag finishes
Time
hitting
is
this
basically now.
thing.
And time.
GG.
Yes.
Low 107. That was pretty good. Low 107.
Yeah.
That's pretty gaming.
It's a minute of PB.
True. Wait, yeah, a minute off PB is actually kind of crazy. And you hit. I mean, you hit all the important don't die points.
Yeah. Got all the don't die parts, just a bit of time bleed everywhere, which is fine. I did play it a bit safe. It's a good run.
BG Islets.
Yeah, good game. Go play it. It's on Steam. Yeah, there's also the SRC page, and there's a link to the speedrun Discord. It's a bit quiet in there, but some good folks in there. Not afraid to help you get into the speedrun if you're interested. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. That's Islets.
All right. Thank you so much to Swago and Squill for showing that off. That was a really beautiful game, and I'm glad I got to see it. I wasn't familiar with that one. We still have a lot of exciting stuff coming up